24 miles and 5,200 feet of ascent, or if you prefer metric, that's 1,585 metres. We're talking the Yorkshire Three Peaks, climbing Pennygent, Whernside and Ingleborough. So could you take on that challenge? I think you've got to do it in a certain amount of time. I don't think you can say, yes, I'm going to do it, but I might do it over 3 months. I think you've got a certain amount of time to do it. That's what's more than 20 chaps are going to be doing this week, and they're doing it for a really good cause. Jack Woodhams from Yorkie Dads and York Menfulness is one of them, and he joins us this morning to tell us all about it. Jack, thanks for coming on the programme this morning. Are you looking forward to this challenge?
Well, I was looking forward to it until I heard you give me those stats about how high it is. Now I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, they're quite high, those peaks, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't think Peaks does it justice, really. People have been sending me photographs. They look more like mountains. There's people climbing up on their knees.
I think when you've done this and when you're telling everybody about it, you don't use the word peaks. You just call them mountains. I think it's much more impressive. Just explain, Jack, why you're doing it.
Well, we certainly over lockdown, we've been working quite closely with a lot of blokes in York over. There's 2,000 guys now that we're supporting through Yorkie Dads and York Menfulness who are part of our groups. And we've, sadly, mental health has been, it's just been on the increase, certainly over lockdown. And the third lockdown, we noticed a difference. And across York and North Yorkshire, sadly, guys were thinking there was no other option but taking their own lives. And we felt we really need to do something. And Poppleton Football Club was affected by that. And they got in touch with us and said, Jack, look, we love your Menfulness and everything that you've done. We put a few guys into our free counselling. And then they said, we want to put Menfulness across the T-shirts, which is amazing. And then they said they want to do this fundraiser with us. And then when they told me that, they said, "Oh, we've got these guys doing it. We're all ready to go." And I felt obliged that I had to do it, really, considering it was all for Menfulness. So I've been forced into it. So, but I am really looking forward to it because all the guys there, they've all had their own challenges through mental health, ups and downs. But the whole point is we'll get through it together. And whatever the issues that you're facing, you don't have to face them alone. We might not be able to solve it, but together we're stronger, and that peer support, Menfulness, and that's what it's all about. So they'll be dragging me up those mountains. I'm going to call them mountains.
Yeah, stick with mountains. It sounds so good. Are we getting better? Are we men getting better at talking about these things, Jack?
I would like to think so. I mean, over the last 6 years for Yorkie Dads and Menfulness, certainly the stigma. We've got no choice. It has to change. And what we're finding is it's not really true that guys don't talk. If you're giving them an environment and a platform and a place to talk, then they do. You can't shut them up. And once one person talks about their own mental health, generally what happens is everybody else talks about it. So from holding it in for 40 years about the issues they're facing, and people have been saying, look, you've got to talk, you've got to open up. And then they do that on our platforms, and it's only met with support from guys that have been through it or going through it, invitations for them to meet up, and it's wonderful to see. So that stigma is definitely decreasing, but there's a long way to go, and we've had a lot more challenges over the last year. So if we can make it fun, and also now that we've had the counselling over the last year, we've had 50 guys access that counselling. So that preventative work that we're doing, and we've reduced the cost, that's one thing, the stigma, and also the waiting time as well, because we found that, 9 times out of 10, just having a chat like you and me are doing right now, Adam, that's perfect. That's enough. But there's a 1 in 10, we say, look, guys, open up and talk, and they do, and I'm like, oh, this person really needs some help fairly quick. How can we do it? And that by having serendipity counselling service and 50 guys accessing that, so that's where all this money's going for this Three Peaks to, prevent suicide. 79% of it is of all suicides are sadly blokes who feel that there is no other options, and we're not going to stop guys from getting to that point. But when they are at that point, hopefully they'll reach out. They'll have other options or speak to me. Sorry, I'm there's lots of noise around. I've
No,
just
it's
realised
fine.
I keep trying to run away from all the noise. They keep tracking me down. So,
Don't be doing any running today. You need to keep your energy supplies for tomorrow.
I know,
The fact that you've mentioned you've got over 50 men who have been directed to counselling on York Menfulness, is that how busy you are at the moment? Are you noticed that your services are being required more and more? Are you busier than you have been before?
Yeah, and I can only see that increasing because what we're doing, what's something really simple that we do, is to normalise having mental health. I mean, everybody has mental health, good and bad, and they say that about 1 in 4, but I don't think that's true. I think it's 4 in 4. I think everybody at some point has, some people deal with it better, but it's a normal thing. And if you can normalise that and talk about that and get guys speaking and opening up, and what you've seen at all our events, our social circuits or walking talks, you're hearing these golden nuggets, these conversations, and it's not guys trying to help each other. It's not us trying to fix it, but we're just saying, oh, sorry, mate, I'm sorry to hear that you've had a bad week this week. That's a real struggle. And that's so impactful for that peer support because I suppose the doctor, I suppose your GP and counselling professionals, they're supposed to say that, even your wife's supposed to say that. But a guy in the middle of a social circuit in a car park saying that to you, it really does make a difference. And just going, I'm here for you, mate, when you need. I've been through it. You're not the only one. And through our networks, like I said, 2,000 guys, where they're all opening up and talking, there's always somebody that's been through it within this wonderful city of ours. So just knowing that you're not alone and there are options for you, then that really does help. And there's just guys who just nod and listen and talk, and teaching guys how to actually listen as well. That's never really been a strength of mine. I just blabber on, but actually sitting down and listening and actually taking it in. I think it's really needed.
As you've mentioned, I mean, chatting about it as you and I are, doing the event that you're doing tomorrow, it is obviously about raising awareness, which is hugely important, but also, obviously, you need the financial backing as well. So how much money are you hoping to raise, Jack?
Yeah, well, our target was £1,000, and we've smashed that. We're now on, I think, about 1,800 quid, which is amazing. So, yeah, terrific. And that's even before it. So let's keep going. We're going to be posting photographs and stuff. Look, I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning. This is unheard of, to meet a random 20 guys, 15 of them that I've never met, in a dodgy car park. So please sponsor us. And what you are doing, this money, because we're all volunteers, we don't get paid for this. All this money, every penny that you donate, is not going to some big chief exec. It's going directly to guys that need support. It's going, and it is literally saving lives. So that's what we're doing.
To make it worse for you, I'm going to be talking to you in the morning, all being well, from one of the peaks. So fingers crossed that works. There is some good news for you here, Jack, and you'll be pleased about this, because whilst you and I have been talking, one of my colleagues here at BBC Radio York, June, who is a regular mountain walker, has sent in an email. She says, "Hi, Adam. The usual definition of a mountain in England and Wales is it must reach a minimum of 2,000 feet. All of the Yorkshire Three Peaks are mountains and not hills." So there you go.
I'm a mountain... Well, I'm not yet.
You are a mountain man. You are a mountain man, Jack Woodhams. That's what you are.
Yeah, I am.
Good to chat with you, Jack. We'll catch up with you again in the morning, all being well, fingers crossed, and technology and all that sort of thing. We hope to catch up with him at the top of each peak through our shows tomorrow on BBC Radio York, and then they'll be catching up on Breakfast with Georgie as well on Monday morning to see how it goes. So we're catching up with Jack again tomorrow morning. But wonderful thing they're doing, and we wish them all the very best.